Hello there, I'm Chandra Fauzi, an English teacher. Today, we're diving into the world of passive voice in English. We'll talk about things happening to something or someone instead of talking about who's doing it. So let's get ready to explore about passive voice in English and let's have some language fun. Chef Yuna prepares a delicious meal. A delicious meal is prepared by Chef Yuna. The government is building IKN in East Kalimantan. IKN is being built by the government in East Kalimantan. The active voice focuses on the doer of the action, while the passive voice emphasizes on the receiver of the action. In English, we usually talk about actions by saying who does them. For instance, John paints the picture. Here, John is the one doing the action. But sometimes, we might want to change the focus a bit. This is where the passive voice comes in. In active voice sentences, the focus is on the person, on the thing who's doing the action. For instance, Rina bakes the cake. Here, we know who's doing the action, which is Rina. In passive voice sentences, the focus shifts to the receiver of the action because we are more interested in the thing that is being acted upon instead of who's doing the action. For example, the cake is baked by Rina. In that sentence, we know that Rina is not the emphasis of the sentence. We want to know more about the cake and the fact that the cake is being baked. When talking about present actions, we use the formula subject plus is or are plus past participle. For example, the Quran is read by Ahmad. When talking about past actions, the formula is subject plus was or were plus verb 3 or past participle. For example, the action movie Gear 5 was released in August 2024, emphasizing the action. When the action itself is more important than the person who's doing it, we use passive voice. For instance, the ancient ruins in Gunung Padang were discovered. Unknown doer. Sometimes we don't know who's doing the action, or it's not necessary to mention it. For instance, the cake was eaten. The bike was stolen. Formal writing. Passive voice is often used in formal writing like reports or scientific papers. So remember 3 things. First, passive voice changes the focus from the doer of the action to the receiver of the action. Number 2, use is or are for present actions and was or were for past action. Number 3, make sure to use the correct form of verb 3 or past participle. Now, let's check your understanding about passive voice by doing exercise 1 and exercise 2. Then, you can look at the key answers afterwards. Good luck! Exercise 1. Transform these active sentences into passive voice forms. Number 1. She is painting a beautiful picture. Number 2. They were fixing the broken car. Number 3. The teacher is explaining the lesson. Number 4. He was reading an interesting book. Number 5. The chef is preparing a delicious meal. Exercise 2. Underline the passive voice sentence in the story below. The brave little mouse and the strong lion. In a lush jungle, a tiny mouse named Milo lived in a cozy hole. Everyone knew Leo, the strong lion. Leo's loud roars were heard from afar, and he was respected by all the animals. One sunny morning, while exploring near a sparkling river, Milo saw something surprising. Leo was caught in a net. He was trapped and looked worried. Milo hurried over to help. The net's ropes were chewed by Milo, and they became loose. Leo was finally free. He was grateful and stood up with a joyful smile. Word about Milo's courage traveled all across the jungle. Leo and Milo became really good friends. Leo, the strong lion, was often seen close to Milo, making sure he stayed safe. This taught us that even the biggest animals might need help, and even the tiniest ones can do important things.